video is on the category Parenting Purity to Your Children. We're going to just cover a whole bunch of stuff, hopefully, but I just wanted to start with a very obvious question that I think I probably hear a lot from parents, and that is, do I have to tell them? Do I have to be the one to tell them? As a parent, speaking about your teenager, about your child, even, moving in, it's becoming increasingly more necessary to have even more detailed conversations with even preteen children now, because they've been exposed to stuff at school, they've been shared content by friends, and now you have to you are forced to react to maybe them seeing stuff that you wish they hadn't seen, or they've heard stuff you wish that they hadn't known about. But this actually makes my point all the more important. I'm just going to answer the question up front and plain and simple first, and then I'll give you a little bit of what I want to say. Do you have to be the one to tell your children about sexuality? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is your right and your duty for you to be the primary sex educator of your child. And it actually is interesting. Most parents find this shocking to hear this from me, but in my dealings with teenagers and with young adults, especially young adults, they tell me I was very wounded precisely because mum and dad never had these very, very important conversations with me about sexuality. One young man, he was about 28 or 29 years old, and he shared with me, he said, I found out what sex was when I was in university. He said, my parents sheltered me so much, they would never speak to me about these topics. And then I learned about sex in the most humiliating, most embarrassing way as a university student by my new friends at university. He said, the shame was just unbearable. I felt so stupid. And he said, and I wasn't able through high school to process so many of the feelings I had. He goes, I had been so wounded. And now there's anger and frustration toward his parents because he was not coached or parented on what sexuality is and what its truth and meaning is, especially in this world today, which we're saturated by it. But he wasn't given the tools by his parents to navigate this world, right? So I have been contacted by multiple parents over the last few years saying to me, Simon, will you come and have the sex talk with my three boys? Or will you come to my house, this mum she was ready to set it all up for me. You come over for dinner and, you just kind of start talking about what you do. I know we just found out our son has been watching porn, and we'll set it up. And then you just launch into this teaching about pornography. And then at the end of the night, we'll let you and him go for a walk or something, and then you can deal with it, right? I've been offered, a mother has even offered to fly me interstate just to have coffee with her son, who she knew was watching pornography, so I could convince him to change, in her words, right? Now, as well-meaning as all these requests are by mums and dads who are concerned for their children, whenever I get asked to go to these trips or these dinners or these conversations with young men or young women as well, I always ask them, okay, I'm grateful that you've asked me, and I'm glad that you are concerned for your child's purity. But can I first just ask, before I speak to them, have you spoken to them at all about this? And 95% of the time, the answer is no. That's why they go to youth group, or that's why they go to Catholic school, or that's why I'm paying this money for them to go to this great school so they can learn the faith there. Okay, that is the wrong answer. Okay, you do not send your child to Catholic school so that you don't have to do your job as a parent and educate them in the faith, right? One of the meanings and purposes of marriage, or the meaning and purpose of marriage, is for the unitive aspect of the couple, and then the procreation and the education of children in the Catholic faith. That is necessary for you to even enter a sacrament, the sacrament of marriage. You need to vow that that you're going to love you're going to love your spouse, and you're going to be open to life, and then you are taking responsibility to educate every life that God blesses you with in the Catholic faith, especially around the truth and meaning of human sexuality. Amen. So it is, St. John Paul the Great says in his document, The Truth and Meaning of Human Sexuality, and I'm just going to summarize a paragraph that I thought was excellent. He says, it is the right and the duty, the right and the duty of a Catholic parent to offer guidance and teaching on the truth and meaning of human sexuality to their children. And then he says, it is the school that should support the teaching of the child at school, support what the parent has been teaching at home at school. Okay? Whereas most, not most, but many parents I meet seem to have this backwards. They say, look, well, don't these teachers are going to uni, they're meant to be educated. They deal with my kid all day. Why can't they have these difficult conversations with them? Now, I'm going to be nice here. I could say much nastier things, but just to be charitable here for a moment, let's just say that if you send your child to a Catholic school right now, in the world we live in today, it is highly unlikely they're going to walk out of those gates in year 12 on their last day of school armed with all of the beautiful teachings of the Catholic Church, much less the truth and meaning of human sexuality. Amen. That's being nice, right? Sometimes we know for a fact that some of them are even teaching contrary teachings to what the Catholic Church and the magisterium would teach. But let's just be nice and say that we cannot assume that if you just send your child to a Catholic school, they're going to walk away with a well-rounded formation in their Catholic faith, much less the truth and meaning of human sexuality. You as a parent must take this extremely seriously. You must educate your child on the truth and meaning of human sexuality. But have multiple conversations. Your goal as a parent is to prepare your child, to train them in freedom for adulthood, because you're not going to be there to discipline them and tell them right from wrong forever. Your goal as a parent is to instruct them in freedom. So when your back is turned, right, they're still doing the right thing because they want to do the good thing. Amen. So why would the average parent be uncomfortable, nervous, or not wanting to have conversations with their child, their teenager, about sexuality? Truthfully, I believe the answer is quite simple. It could be multiple answers, but I think at least a couple are very, very simple. For many of you, so if you're a parent now when you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, it's very, very likely that your parents did not have the sex talk or multiple sexual or conversations around human sexuality with you. So possibly you are not comfortable, having conversations about sexuality with your parents. And so because that's all you know, that the father-son relationship or the mother-daughter relationship is not one where we engage in this kind of conversation or this topic, you are just going to naturally doing the same to your child. And you don't feel comfortable bringing it up with them because your father or your mother didn't feel comfortable to bring it up with you. But I want to encourage you. We are living in the 21st century, the age of John Paul II, where his writings have just popped. His theology of the body is now becoming like the central form of imparting the Catholic teaching on sexuality to the world. And it's creeping into marriage prep. It's creeping into marriage enrichment programs. It's creeping into, we're very blessed to know that even some schools are grabbing it and starting to dissect it and make it accessible to teenagers. There's speakers, like Christopher West and Jason Evert that are traveling the globe, sharing it. My wife Madeline and I are also sharing it full time. Okay, you are spoiled. You are spoiled for content. You're spoiled for formation, right? There's no excuse for you to not go away and learn what you need to learn to then impart the truth and meaning of human sexuality to your child. I'm just going to share two little things you can do. Okay, I use an internet accountability and filtering software called Covenant Eyes. I use this on my laptop, my phone. I still use it to this day. It's an internet accountability and filtering software which blocks pornographic content from laptops, phones, tablets, those kinds of things, right? To sign up to it, you need to put in the email address of an accountability partner, someone that is going to get a weekly email report of where you've been online. Okay. Now, as a parent, you can't honestly tell me that you want your child to be porn free, but you have not installed Covenant Eyes on every software in your home. Okay, that might sound blunt, but it is the absolute truth. You cannot tell me you're serious about having a porn-free environment at home if you haven't installed something like Covenant Eyes on every one of your teenage children's phones, tablets, laptops, and you as the father or the mother lead by example, and you have it on all of your software as well. And even let your, be accountable to each other, right? Maybe even as something fun, just to prove that you're all in it together. Let your teenage children see where you've been that week online. I don't care. Find out whatever works for you. But you need to install a filter on all software in the home to block pornographic content coming into the sight of your children. Okay? And if I'm honest, many fathers need Covenant Eyes as well. Many wives need Covenant Eyes as well. Okay? In my home, my son Joseph is 18 months old. He's not going to be looking around on the internet anytime soon. So what's Covenant Eyes doing in our home? It's for me, because I want to lead my home in this way. And this is the standard I'm going to set for my home. I want my home to be a porn-free environment. And when my Joseph grows up, and please God, future children grow up, they're going to know this is the standard for our home. Secondly, Raising Pure Teens. This is the best book. It's written by Jason Evert and Chris Stefanik. This is a brilliant little book. In fact, the talk that I give, Parenting Purity to Teens, there's 10 strategies to protect your teenager's innocence in this book. I probably use about 5 or 6 of them, and then I add my own as well. But so much of what I say about parenting purity comes from this book. So Parenting Purity, Raising Pure Teens, is the name of that book. And you can order that from perusiamedia.com. That's where I source all my books from, and then I give them out to parents and things at seminars that we do. But just go straight to their website and they can ship you a copy. If you want Covenant Eyes, just type in Covenant Eyes online and use the promo code FREE, FREE, and it'll give you a 1-month trial. You get it to trial it for free. If you love it, and I know that you will, it's a small monthly subscription, about $15 a month. and I say this as well, if you think $15 a month is too much, then you really don't value purity, do you? If $15 a month is too much for you to afford, and you think, oh, I don't need that, I don't need to pay for that, then let's be straight and upfront. Then you don't really care about purity in your home. You don't care about your purity or the purity of your children. You need to get Covenant Eyes or something. You absolutely must do it. Use the promo code FREE. You get the first month for free. You can trial it, and I know you're going to love it, and then sign up to it. Order a book like that. Okay, you've got to get informed. The more educated you are as a husband and father, the more educated you are as a wife and mother, the better equipped you will be to pass on the truth and meaning of human sexuality to your children. Okay, and they will have the tools, the strategies, the skills to work through their sexual deep desires, and hopefully grow in self-mastery and make the right choices. So do you have to tell them? Absolutely, yes, you do. It is your right and your obligation, your duty, to pass on the truth and meaning of human sexuality to your kids. God bless. Hope it's been helpful.